Cynthia. Sorry about that. Hello, friends, and welcome to Ihkc Live. I am Lauren Conaway, founder and CEO of Innovate Ihkc. And really quickly, I'm going to show you something that I'm doing right now, just because I feel like it. And right now, you're kind of subject to my whim. But friends, I am here at Keystone Innovation District. We have a partnership with them, and we help them put on content here and again. But right now, it's the 1-year anniversary of Keystone Sessions. So I am in a slightly louder place than I normally am in. You're going to have to forgive me. Thought this was going to be a great idea, but I find that, I'm a raccoon and easily distracted. So I just wanted to point that out, just kind of show you what's going on. But we're very excited to be a partner with Keystone Innovation District. And I'm very excited to be here to help them celebrate 1 year of Keystone Sessions. So on to the cool things. For those of you who don't know, Innovate Ihkc, we are a leadership community that has a focus on women and individuals of marginalized gender experience. We have about 6,300 members across the Kansas City metro area, and we serve our members through a combination of leadership, professional development, championship, mentorship, resource building and sharing. We do a lot to try to support and amplify the experiences and the paths of women and other gender minorities. So that is who we are. Ihkc Live, we do this every other week, and we just talk to leaders within the Innovate Ihkc community about issues of the day. We try to apply an intersectional lens, making sure that we're having really important conversations around topics that affect all women and really all humans when we sit down and think about it. But we are very glad to have you here with us today. I'm going to go ahead and ask our executive producer, one of my favorite human beings, Cynthia Fales. Hi, Cynthia.
Hey, Lauren. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really excited about today's guest. Are you?
Yeah, I'm super excited about today's guest. Yeah.
So today we have with us a really fabulous community builder, thought leader. She's a doctor, y'all, like a PhD. I'm assuming she's not a medical doctor. I don't actually know that that's not the case, but you will hear me referring to Dr. Chelsey M, Dr. Chelsey. You'll hear me referring to her a lot as doctor because we love honorifics in the Ihkc community. We feel that if you earned it, that's what we're going to call you. So really excited for this conversation. Chelsey leads KC Black Owned. Cynthia, are you excited to hear from Chelsey? What are you excited about?
Always. Every time I connect with Chelsey, there's always something new that I learn that's happening in the community. So I'm always excited to hear from her and to chat with her because I always learn something new. So I'm excited to see what we're going to learn today.
I feel the same. Like she is a spreader of knowledge. She is a proponent of community. Like that's how I know her. I know her best as a really fabulous community builder and somebody that I very much look up to as a community builder. Like I look at her as an example of what a strong ecosystem builder can look like, and I just love that about her. So
should we bring her in?
Paging Dr. M.
Hey, there she is.
Oh, that was so sweet. I was like teasing so hard.
Yeah, I saw you smiling, and I saw Cynthia and I were like dancing. And Chelsey was like, I thought you were Were you laughing at us?
No, I was just like, oh my God. When you hear like when they say, give someone their flowers while they're alive, that was really sweet. And Cynthia, you're just so quiet and in the background. I didn't know you felt that way, so thank you.
Absolutely.
Cynthia is one of the most unassuming, thoughtful, like you're just brilliant, and it's so quietly so. And I'm like, I don't even know how do I tell the world how smart Cynthia is.
Don't tell them. Keep it a secret.
Sneaky smart. You're just brilliant. Anyway, so are you, Dr. M? How are you today?
Absolutely, she is.
Good today. The baby is asleep, so we got a good 40 minutes.
Yes.
Chelsey here, Dr. Chelsey is co-parent to one of the cutest little boys I've ever seen. He's so cute. And I'm so excited for him to like, I don't even know if he's talking yet. Like he's kind of an age where he's close, maybe.
Yeah.
When he starts talking, I cannot wait for the entrepreneurial insights to come out of his mouth.
I know.
You take him to all of the cool stuff. You take him to such cool stuff.
I will.
And he's going to learn so much just by absorption and osmosis and being around it. Like you're setting your young king up for some entrepreneurial success later in life.
Yes.
Well done.
Awesome.
So it's time. It is time for quirky questions. I feel. I want to see what punishment we fabulously fails has.
Not punishment though. Punishment.
I don't know. Sometimes they feel. I know I keep on talking about this one, and I'm going to have to stop talking about this one. But Chelsey, she asked us if we could only keep one tooth. What tooth would we keep? That was a question that she legit
I'm
asked.
just saying.
I would keep the molar. Yeah.
See, there was
grind
a whole
it down.
debate. There was a whole debate. So, at any rate, what other opportunities do you have for us, Cynthia?
Are you ready?
Yes.
These are going to be pretty mild compared to the tooth question. So I'll preface it with that.
I mean, because I keep complaining about it.
Right. If animals could talk, which animal do you think would be the rudest of them all? Humans excluded.
I was going to say.
I think. Oh, that is Cynthia. Cynthia, that's good.
Right?
I'm taking this to Thanksgiving at dinner. Would be the rudest. Wow. What do you think?
I do have my answer.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to think about it for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I have answered a similar. I don't know where it came from, but I feel like I've answered a similar question to this before, and I think my answer was geese, because they're just mean and rude. They just are.
Okay.
They attack people. Like apparently they're like one of the more aggressive bird varieties. I don't know. I just feel like geese would be really, really mean.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was thinking a groundhog.
Okay.
Like, no, leave me alone. Get out of here. You know.
Oh my gosh, we just had Denisha Jones come in with flamingo, and I'm like,
yeah.
Hey,
birds just
you know.
I'm surprised nobody said cat. Like we're talking about the rudest of all of them.
Cats can be so sweet though.
They can be.
Mm-hmm.
But also, this is your drink right here on the counter. No, it's not your drink anymore. That's a little rude.
That is a little rude. All right.
I don't know. I like all of these answers though.
If we're gonna put it to like varying degrees of rudeness, I can say cats are certainly ruder than dogs. Would be ruder than dogs, I think. Dogs would just be like, "Hey guys, want to play? Do you love me? You know, that would be dog conversation." Tanisha came back. I can totally see that. By the way.
I can see that too.
Right,
a little on the rude side. I think she got this one.
That's fair. All right.
Okay. Second question. If you could invite 3 people to dinner, living or not, who would it be?
So at least one of my answers is you, because I just invited you to a dinner.
You did.
I did. So I have proven that you would be one of my answer.
Nice. That was an interesting dinner, by the way.
It was. I actually take a lot that for that.
Why?
I know, I feel like
the dog
discussion, and then I just kind of ran over the entire conversation. But at any rate,
all right. So you've got one, Lauren.
So I've got one.
I'm
going to defer to Dr. Chelsey and see what she has to say, because I have to think about it.
I gotta bring Michelle Obama. And I think I want to bring Steve Jobs, because I feel like his insight would be helpful.
Yeah.
For where I am right now. And
Okay.
then I don't know that last person.
So I really like Michelle. Like maybe you and I can have a joint dinner party, and like,
Yeah.
I would love to invite Michelle Obama, and then Cynthia can be your third, and I could be okay with talking to Steve Jobs. Although I have heard that Steve Jobs was kind of a jerk. So
Okay.
like, he was a visionary. He was very talented at what he did, but I've heard that he was not a very nice person.
I've not heard that. That's interesting. You know what? I think I might ask Michelle Obama to bring a guest and see who she would bring.
Okay.
Then we get a bonus.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a joint dinner party. You know what? We're gonna invite Raven. Come here, man. Come on. This is like the good side of having an event or doing a recording while we have this event going on. We're doing an IHKC live. Say hi, innovators.
Hi, innovators.
There you go.
I'm an innovator myself.
See, that was fun for me.
Was it fun for Rick?
All right. So dinner party. Cynthia's there. Michelle Obama is definitely there.
She's got to be there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I'm in.
Okay.
Now I want to know, what would we serve?
A glass of wine.
Start with that. Okay.
Please. I love calamari.
Mm-hmm.
You love calamari?
Yeah.
I like the rings that you can like put them on your fingers and make them rings.
I know, and those tend to be the chewier ones too.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing.
I know. I just took away.
No. Every time we get on these lives, Lauren, I always end up revealing something really weird about myself. I love calamari, Dr. Chelsey.
I
always choke on calamari every time I eat it.
Oh,
like I don't separate it enough, and then like it just hangs in the back while I'm still like it's a whole thing. Ask Nadia. She's seen it. Thought she was gonna have to give me the Heimlich. It was a whole thing.
Ihkc Live, we were revealed to the world.
Yeah.
She's addicted to like as seen on TV products. And so we made a date. Like at some point, we're gonna all go over to Cynthia's house and we're just gonna play with her products.
Yeah.
You want to come, Chelsey? You want to come?
What? No. Yeah. Oh, I was just thinking
like what?
Okay.
You just never know what's gonna come out.
I mean, now that's gonna be like my super secret goal. Like, what weird thing can I get Cynthia
can you pull out of me
about herself on the record?
All right, last question, and I pulled this one randomly from the Decoding Joy cards. So I'm really interested in seeing what your answers are to this.
Joy,
we're asking the questions, and we'll come back to that if we have time. So the question is. What activities do you do while on vacation that you don't do regularly at home? Inquiring minds.
Ride scooters or like ride a bike.
Mm-hmm.
Like our destinations. I'm in Pipeline Entrepreneurs. We just got back from Canada. Thank you. Yes, Pipeline. We just got back from Canada, and in between sessions. This was a spouse trip, so my husband and I, we just rode scooters around town. Oh my God. And now having a 1-year-old, we're running after him, but to be on a scooter, riding around town, it was really fun, and I felt youthful again.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's lovely. Your answer is a lot cooler than mine. So the activity that I do when I'm staying in a hotel specifically is eat breakfast. I don't eat breakfast. I find that if I eat breakfast, I am hungry for the rest of the day. But if I don't, I am not. Like it just doesn't. That's just how my metabolism works, I guess. But because I am cheap, like I am a cheap person. If the hotel has free breakfast available, I'm gonna eat it. If they have a gym available, I'm gonna go to the gym. If they have a pool, I'm gonna go swim in the pool because I want to maximize my dollar because I'm very cheap. And like I'll go eat the continental breakfast. I'll wake up early, make sure that I get in and get it. But otherwise, I don't generally eat breakfast.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
There are people who are going to be like, you have to eat bread. It's the most important meal of the day. And I'm like, y'all, it doesn't work for me. It's okay. I'm fine. Clearly, I am not starving. It's fine.
Oh my goodness.
How about you, Cynthia?
Oh, things I do on vacation that I don't regularly do here. I don't know that there's much, honestly. I try to get out and enjoy the city and explore the city when I hear of things that are going on in the city.
Yeah.
I tend to be pretty adventurous. So yeah, I can't think of much. I can't think of anything now that I'm thinking about it.
So just for y'all like playing along at home, last night we had our June monthly meetup. And the prompt that we gave, sometimes we give prompts at these things, and the prompt that we gave is what is your guilty pleasure? And we had Gabby Flores, who works at MCC. She was there. She came up to I came up to Gabby and Cynthia talking, and Gabby was like, Cynthia doesn't have any guilty pleasures. And I was like, I'm going to take a stab at the reason behind that. It's because Cynthia is so self-actualized and so comfortable with herself and what she loves that, like, to Cynthia, I would imagine that nothing is a guilty pleasure. It's just something she likes. Right. And no need to feel guilty about it at all. And like we had this whole conversation and I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I'm wearing overalls on the live, so clearly.
It's very much like, if I want to do it, I'm going to do it. You know?
Awesome.
I love that about you, darling.
Why, thank you. Well, y'all have a good, deep conversation to get to today. So I am going to exit stage, whatever blew me out of here. If I need to pop back in, I'll pop back in. But I just want to listen. I'm excited to be a fly on the wall to listen to what y'all are going to talk about. So
we're going to get right into it.
Happy combo.
Thank you. All right. Isn't she incredible? I just love her so much. But you are incredible. And so I'm going to come at this. We did pre-show prep, y'all. And like sometimes I just decide to call an audible, and I'm going to right now. As Cynthia said, don't be afraid to ask your questions for Dr. Chelsey in the chat. Questions, comments, if you want to give her some flowers, because as Dr. Chelsey says, we must give people their flowers while they're here. Please do so. But the first question that I want to ask you is, hey, Dr. Chelsey, tell us about yourself. Who is Dr. Chelsey M?
Well, first, I'm a Southern Belle, so I think everybody knows I'm not from here. I like my tea sweet, my chicken fried hard, my biscuits doused in butter, and, cheese in my grits.
So it feels like food is a really, really big part of your Southern identity.
Yeah, very much.
What's your favorite? Like, what's the food that always makes you feel like home?
Fried chicken, cornbread, cabbage, and sometimes I'll make it.
That was several different foods.
Well, it's a collective, like, wholesome meal. Rice and gravy, candy yams, just full feeling. And I'll make that sometimes, after church on Sundays, just as a way to like kind of start the week, right? Like you have your it gives you your yogurt, right? It gives you peace and tranquility on the Sunday so that you get ready for the week that's coming up, because you have to eat healthy that week, But yeah, that's really me. I mean, at the core though, I'm an educator. I love to teach people new things and advocate for people. So prior to even becoming an entrepreneur, I was a teacher. So my PhD is in curriculum and instruction. I always had this dream of teaching teachers how to teach. I struggled in school. I struggled as a writer. I'm left-handed. I wrote backwards, like just the whole nine. And so really being that student that needed that support, sometimes didn't get it. I remember teachers in parent-teacher conferences saying, my mom's name is Cynthia. Cynthia, you need to just accept that Chelsey will be C average, that she will, not be a good test taker. And so I really did not appreciate that. And I wish I could find that teacher so that I could send her this StreamYard link, like, check me out. And
so my husband actually, like, he refers to that as the FU lap, like when you go back to the haters and you're like, look, I did right. And for me, like, I actually reframe it. I'm like, it's the victory lap. It has less to do with them and more about me owning the fact that, like, I overcame. I did the thing you said that I couldn't do, but it's not an FU lap. It's a victory lap, right? And that's okay. But continue, sorry.
No, I was just, really just sharing, like, education is my core. And I think that's why KC Black Owned provides such educational opportunities, whether that's, well, first, let me tell you
I
about.
was going to say, like, what
Yeah,
is
but it is important. It is important, though, to know who I am, because a lot of, the things that have transpired and kind of crafted me into who I am overflows into KC Black Owned. It was my first baby, right? Like the way that it's set up, the way that it's structured is all me. And so KC Black Owned at its core, we strive to bring visibility and awareness for Black owned businesses. And so we help Black entrepreneurs with their marketing and their advertising through our membership services. And so we're the hub for Black entrepreneurs who come to KC Black Owned. They are, first off, uplifted. We unlock potential in them, and then we provide them access to opportunities in the city that otherwise they wouldn't get. And so, thinking about, as an entrepreneur, you have this problem, you want to bring a solution to your community. I didn't know that my problem was a million other people's problem, right? And so I'm glad to be here. Didn't go to school for it, but just learning along the way. And so, education and KC Black Owned is still hand in hand. So all of the transferable skills from education and, parent teacher conferences is like, meeting with entrepreneurs, helping them understand, who their target customer is, social media strategies, because now we're so digitally focused. And so, LinkedIn, Facebook, your website, your Instagram, those are all things that go before someone may meet you. And it's very important to have that digital footprint, in my opinion, in order for you to kind of increase that revenue. One thing that we really strive to do is provide community and cash to Black entrepreneurs. And that, in turn helps to close the racial wealth gap. Will it happen overnight? Absolutely not. But we are working to create generational wealth for these Black entrepreneurs because we deserve it. And so that's what we really strive to do out here in the community. That's what I left education for, put everything on the line to do so. So very honored to be here.
Well, so I believe, if I remember correctly, you actually first came to my attention, and KC Black Owned first came to my attention, I think, on Instagram through your reels, because you're so active, particularly in the creation of video content, which I hate with a passion. And so I think the first time I met you, I pulled you aside and I was like, all right, you got to tell me how you do this thing, because you're so good at it and you do it really consistently, and like you're really great on point with like the branding piece of it. But like you and Cynthia does this too, incidentally. Like you guys, you're both really good at creating video content.
Yeah.
I hate video content. Hate it. Don't want to do it. But I was just always so impressed by this digital footprint that you were building out around your organization. Because I think that, like, when Innovate Her KC first started, one of the conversations that was had is that we were building the community before we were building the revenue model. And I feel as though you're much the same. Like, you're very much community focused, and you were like, we're going to worry about the money later. Right now, we're going to start putting this content out here and, governing by attraction and bringing people in, so that when we're ready to start, getting the cheddar or whatever, cheddar, get me out of here. I need to go. But anyway, like, finding that you will find the money later. My priority is on the people and talking to the people and communicating with them. And I loved that about you so much.
Thank you. And, what's his Tyler from Made in KC. So when we first started, we had so like KC Black owned, we are just so blessed. So Tyler from Made in KC, we did a lot of coaching instances like, hey, before you do this, before you sell a KC Black owned shirt, before you sell a KC Black owned sticker, your audience needs to know, like, and trust you. And so that was a lot of the reason why year 1 and year 1.5-ish, it was no charge for anything. I had to show everyone, the community, consumers, and the two people that I serve, right? The communities and the Black entrepreneurs, that you can trust me. I have the knowledge, skills, and admonition to do all of this. And so I think that is why, every now and then, maybe once a quarter, we get hate mail, because the community that we have built on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, they know, like, and trust me. They know, like, and trust the Black entrepreneurs. Why? Because in order to be in our directory, you have to have a business license. You have to have all your paperwork in order. So we vet these businesses. And then on the interim, Chelsey, I'm out here in the field. People see me with my son all the time. And even prior, it was me all around town being, I'm the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I'm out while most of them work 9-to-5 jobs, really making sure that different communities are diversifying their shopping experiences.
Well, and I mean, you've done, like, I think the first KC Black owned event that I went to, you had a KC Black owned market at the Nell, like before.
Yes, that was Juneteenth jump off.
That's right. It was the Juneteenth jump off. And incidentally, we're gonna drill down in on that just a little bit.
Okay.
But first things first. So you're very dynamic in how you serve Black business owners. You've got that digital marketing piece, you have the instruction piece, you have the amplification piece. And what's funny, like, as you're talking, like, I just want you to know that, like, I want to give you a big hug right now, because as you're there you go, that's my hug for you. Like, as you're talking, like, pieces of your journey are just resonating with me so hard, because I feel like we're very aligned. Like, we don't serve exactly the same communities, although there's a bunch of overlap, and we don't use exactly the same tactics. But as you're talking, I'm just like, wow, our journeys are very similar. And I think more importantly, and one of the reasons that, like, I consider you to be a heart friend. Like, a heart friend to me is somebody that, like, I see you, even though we don't always, like, hang out or talk on the phone. You're like,
you kissed me on my cheek on Monday, so I know
I did, because I just, like, I feel as though we are value aligned. Like, both. You said speak for the trees, and I was like, I am the Lorax, but I'm not. But I understand that feeling. Like, you're charged with this mission, and you're representing a large group of people, very disparate people, even though they kind of, in some ways, look the same. In your case, you're all of the folks you serve are Black. Most of the folks that I serve are women, and, like, but I want you to know that I see you, Dr. Chelsey.
Thank you.
And I very, very much appreciate how difficult and how arduous and how frustrating and how beautiful and wonderful and exhilarating the work that you do can be. So I wanted you to know that.
Thank you.
No. Thank you. But so let's jump into it. So you mentioned the Juneteenth jump off.
Yeah.
And just for our audience here, I want to be really, really clear about something. I am well aware, as a member of the LGBTQIA community, that it is Pride Month. I know. Yes. I'm 100% confident that, yes, it is June. And usually with IHKC Lives, we try to tailor the content around what's happening at any moment in time. And so anytime there's an identity month, in February, we focused on Black-owned business. And, I also think it's really important that when we're talking about identity months and things like that, we acknowledge that, like, hey, Black people are still going to be here in March. Women are still going to be here in April. And so I knew that Juneteenth was coming up, and I just wanted to make sure that we are carrying through that identity lens the whole year long. And then we saw that Juneteenth was coming up. And so I was like, let's have a little bit of discussion about that. So friends, Juneteenth, for those of you who do not know, I'm probably going to do a very, very poor job of synopsizing this, but Juneteenth it's a day to reflect on freedom, because it actually represents not the institution of the Emancipation Proclamation. It's really important to know that even when having slaves became illegal, not everybody heard about it. This is back in the times when people, like, we didn't have broadcast channels to share information. And so for several years after the Emancipation Proclamation, there were parts of the country that didn't know that slavery was over. And because slaves couldn't read, they didn't have access to information, they were still enslaved, even though it was no longer legal to have slaves. And so Juneteenth is about the day that all enslaved peoples became free. And I do want to really quickly, I see Cynthia coming. I see you. I saw you doing it. I knew it was coming. Cynthia's going to explain this so much better than I am. I just want you to know that, like, I saw you coming.
What do you mean?
Tell me what I have missed, my love.
No. Very good summary. I just want to bring in some details to help the word Juneteenth make sense, right? Because Juneteenth is a combination of June 19th June 19th of 1865 in Galveston, Texas, which at the time was like one of the westernmost parts of the Union way back in the day. And that's when those who were emancipated, the enslaved peoples, finally got word that they were emancipated. And it's not that slaveholders were not aware of it. They were just withholding the information so that they could get more work out of the enslaved people that they owned, so to speak, right? So the Emancipation Proclamation happened in January 1st of 1863, and it wasn't until 2.5 years later that everyone received word of their freedom.
Yeah, so I would never try to imagine that in any way slaveholders, particularly those deeply entrenched in the South, I would never suggest that they were just oblivious. Like,
no,
they knew.
Not saying that you did. Just that's an important.
Who looked like
that's
me,
so important piece of the conversation.
We're gonna milk this for all it's worth until we can't anymore.
Yeah.
And so let us honor and acknowledge that is a part of our. When we're talking about like critical race theory and things like that in schools, I'm just like, can we talk about these things like they're really meant to be talked to? Like, what really?
I mean, that's how you learn from history, right? That's how you learn from it. Yeah. So 1865, June 19th, 1865 is when enslaved people were told of their emancipation in Galveston, and then the next year was the first Juneteenth celebration, and then in 2021, I think, is when it became a national holiday, and the celebrations for Juneteenth continued to expand over the years. And then eventually the government got word and now it's an official thing. Yeah. All right. I'm going to slide back.
Wait. She's left that brat. All right. I'm going to be talking. So just so you all know, if you have never been on the back end of a StreamYard, I can see Cynthia right now and she can hear me. I can't hear her, but I can see her. That's how I knew she was coming. So I'm talking to you right now, Cynthia Fails. You are fabulous. I am so proud and grateful to have you to provide context like that. Thank you very much. I'm not surprised that you know that history at the granular level like that, but I am very, very proud to know you. All right. Anyway. So that is Juneteenth. I knew she was going to explain it much better than I ever would. And we knew, I mean, come on, Chelsey. We kind of knew she was going to hop in. But I very much appreciate it. So Ihkc Black owned, are you doing anything for Juneteenth this year?
Yeah. So we have partnered with Mac. We have partnered with Mac Properties. Fantastic team. To present, Juneteenth Jump Off at the arcade over off Armour Boulevard. Juneteenth Jump Off is Ihkc Black owns our way of starting the celebration. But more kind of big and broader organization is Juneteenth Ihkc. They focus specifically on this holiday, making sure that everyone in the community can come out to celebrate. So on Juneteenth Jump Off for Ihkc Black Owned is next Friday. Next Friday from 6 to 8, just 2 hours, come in, come out. We'll have food truck TCS fully loaded. It's a loaded baked potato with whatever you want inside. We'll have over 15 businesses. We'll have an artist there. We support our Black artists heavily. And so come out, buy some art. There'll be free alcoholic beverages. I don't know if I can say that on LinkedIn. Free beverages.
You're all right. I feel like people on LinkedIn enjoy a healthy libation every now and again. I think you're okay.
Okay. And so, over 21 will be a carding, but Brain Freeze Daiquiri will be providing those drinks. And so
that's James.
Yes, that's James. And he is doing fantastic.
I just saw him Monday at the he pitched at the Access Money event and he won and he did so well. And it was one of those things where like I see him at events on a regular, like we're very like nod and hug and handshake level of friendship. Like, what's up?
Yeah.
But I had never seen him pitch before and it was awesome. He was fantastic. So that's going to be one of the vendors there.
Yes, he is providing all of the drinks and his daiquiris are great. And he even makes virgin ones for those of you that don't want any little spice to it. But then, so that's on the 16th. And then on the 17th, Juneteenth KC will have their kind of historic, or on 18th and Vine, they'll have their like heritage festival. So there'll be thousands of vendors, thousands of things to do with the children, like a kid zone. There'll be, other partners there at their tables passing out freebies. It's a celebration. The parade was June 3rd, but the actual festival, the vendors, you're just going to see random things. You might see, the cowboys, they bring their horses, they ride around. So it's a lot of different things on 18th and Vine.
And so speaking of Black cowboys, this is actually something that I very recently learned. But in the days of the Wild West, there were actually more Black cowboys than there were white cowboys. I didn't know that. Like, because I don't remember. I was watching like some History Channel show or something like that, and they were talking about cowboys in the Wild West, and they were like, actually, I don't know if it's more than, but a very, very large contingent of cowboys were Black. And I had no idea. Like, this is the kind of stuff that I'm like, why do we not teach this in schools? Why do we center white thoughts? I don't understand.
I know.
But at any rate, that was a fun fact for me. Well, so I want to ask you, and I didn't forewarn you that I was going to ask you this.
It's fine. Throw it.
So one of the things that I think we take pretty seriously around Innovator, and I know that you do for KC Black Owned, is the fact that like it's really important to celebrate your identities and to celebrate the accomplishments and to celebrate the experiences of people in our country and diverse people who have been historically marginalized and excluded. That's really important. But one of the other things that is also very important, and they need to happen together. Like at the same time, you need to celebrate, but you also need to take action, because what we don't want to do is repeat these histories, and we don't want to perpetuate the stereotypes. And so I'm asking, as a white person, what is something that maybe I could do, or what can the community do in addition to celebrating going to the events? What can we do to support the Black community?
And let me emphasize, this is not just supporting during February, during June, during August. This is a lifestyle change. And so I know that sometimes when I do interviews, they're like, so, with this, this movement, and I like, no, this is a lifestyle change. We are all diversifying our shopping experience. And it's not just Black people, it's the Asian community. We are all going to try Mr. D's Donuts at Cafe, right?
Mr. D's Donuts, Cafe. Oh,
right.
Man.
We are all diversifying our shopping experience. We're circulating the dollars everywhere so that everyone can be accounted for. And so to the person that called me racist the other day, we're diversifying everybody. But one thing that, you can do, celebrate all year long, shop all year long, especially our retail stores like the Black Pantry. They sales go down significantly June, July, August. and then it'll ramp up again, and then it'll go down until Christmas. So it's these ebbs and flows that even our retail spaces they deal with, and that's why the support is important all year long. And then additionally, just educating yourself. I think that's with any of our different communities in this world, educating ourselves on what they've been through, what is it like, and just I don't know. That's always a tricky question, right? Like, people are kind of stuck in their ways. I know, someone said, well, I'm nervous. I'm afraid to go to that area. Okay. Well, can you shop online? Can you during the day? Can you go with a group of friends? There's
Well, first of all, wait, really quickly. Yeah. I do want to encourage people to challenge their own biases. And like, if you're scared to go into a neighborhood that you've never been to and know nothing about, maybe start with a little bit of research. But like, I would there are definitely, I'm not telling anybody to do anything that makes them feel unsafe, but I'm also asking people to challenge their own ideals or ideas of what communities look like. Like just, east of Troost, it's not a death trap. There isn't like nuclear waste on every corner, people just waiting to stab you. Like that's not what it's like. Like these are communities that are populated by people, so many people who are just trying to live their lives and build their businesses and raise their families. And you're gonna have to get out of your own head around just a little. I'm asking just a little bit. Challenge your own conceptions, right? Try things that you would. So I apologize. I cut you off, but I
was done. But that's just kind of the basics, right? Like let's start small. We're not trying to, build Rome.
You're a lot kinder than I am. You're so sweet.
Now.
But continue.
And then also if you need help with, figuring out a way to be supportive, we do have our Kickstarter KCBO program, which is a keychain that's added to your set of keys on your waist. And what it does is it helps you become a catalyst for these Black-owned businesses and help them drive income. So this keychain offers you 10, 15, or 20% off. So for instance, District Biscuits.
Ooh,
they offer 20% off. So you purchase the keychain from us, we send it to you, or you can pick it up from the Black Pantry or pick it up from me at a vendor event. You go to the restaurant that's participating, not on our directory. Some people have went to our directory. Go to the Kickstarter participating location list. It's on our website. Figure out what business you want to go to. And then you get a discount, either 10, 15, or 20%. And 20% off a District Biscuit, I
drooled a little bit as you were talking about it. I really did. Like, I was like, okay.
It's very good. So those are, I'm creating ways to make it easy to support. So if you don't know where to go, don't know where to start with the keychain. The keychain will kind of guide you to, oh, well, I can try this place. Oh, well, I can try that.
Where can folks get that again?
It's on our website.
BlackOwned.org, is that?
BlackOwned.org underneath Kickstarter program.
Okay, gotcha. Well, so I love that, and definitely like the shopping piece is a huge part of the puzzle. I also invite people, particularly people of power, that, we have a bit of a responsibility. We are not saviors. We are not here to save the Black community, but we can certainly support the Black community. We can amplify. Like one of the things with Innovator is like we have a platform. Great. What are we going to do with it? We're gonna understand that there is commonality between our journeys don't look the same, and I'm not playing the oppression Olympics here, but I'm saying that there's commonality in our experience. Because of who we are, that changes the way the world interacts with us, and it changes the way that we interact with the world. And there's an understanding there, even if there is not necessarily always shared experience.
Right.
And so I'm inviting people, we have a responsibility to support and to be there. And if you don't see that as your responsibility, then you're not paying attention. And that is my soapbox. I'm going to go ahead and step off of it. But just really, really quickly, because we're coming up on time, but really, really quickly. And folks, I'm just going to be very, very clear with you. what I'm asking Dr. Chelsey here, I am not asking her to like, if she doesn't mention your name here, like she's not saying that she hates you. But do you have a couple of like favorite places that folks could shop or like that you want to point people to?
Favorite
She doesn't
Black
hate you if she doesn't mention you.
I love
Please
them
don't
all.
hold her to that.
I
I'm
love
putting
them
her on
all.
the spot. Be mad at me.
I love them all, and I'm recording this one. So I love them all. I don't have a top favorite. I go everywhere. My neighbors here in my neighborhood, I'll get them, one girl, it was her birthday. So I got her some coffee from Coffee Fresh AF, right? Like, so I support everybody. I
Yeah.
go to Sauced Casey pretty much, but I support everybody. I don't have one favorite, no one over the other. They're all a part of the Casey Black owned family. So no.
You want to know what one of my favorite places to shop?
Uh-huh.
You want to know? It would be the Launch Crate website. I don't know if you're aware, but Cynthia Fales has a whole bunch of books up on her website. Oh, Bliss Books and Wine, Kinship Cabinet. Like I love these joints, but you could definitely check out Launch Crate and buy some.
Yeah, she's a member also.
And I can see Cynthia right now. She's laughing her ass off and going like this. But well, I gotta thank you so much, Dr. Chelsey, for being here. Thank you so much. You are a light. I love running into you at events and giving you hugs, and apparently weirdly received kisses on the cheek because I just love you so much.
Thank you. I love you too, Lauren.
But it is an honor to share a bit of a mission with you. Thank you. Really quickly, friends, I'm going to give you a couple of upcoming IHKC events, and then we're going to bring up Cynthia again because I'm going to make her say the sentence that I despise saying. But just coming up, folks, June 15th, we have Perfect Your Pitch in partnership with Interurban Art House. We're going to have our Pride IHKC live on June 23rd. I have not gotten my life together enough to actually build up the thing, but I will, I promise. And then we've got, nope, that's it. That would be it. That's it. We don't even, I'm slowly checking my way through my to-do list. So Cynthia,
That's all the things?
That's all the things that are left. Right. I mean, like, we're going to have a monthly meetup in July, but we have another IHKC live before that.
We sure do.
Yeah. So,
yeah,
Cynthia, what would you like to say to our listeners?
Well, thank you so much for sharing part of your day with us as you checked out our conversation with Dr. Chelsey M of KC Black Owned and our IHKC founder, Miss Lauren Conaway. If you loved something in this conversation, you heard something that helped you learn something a little bit new, maybe there's something that's going to challenge you and you think it's going to challenge other people as well, spread the word. Make sure that you like or love this post wherever you're watching. Share it with your friends and family. And as always, make sure that you subscribe. I think that's all right.
She does that. I always do that. She does that so well, doesn't she?
Yay.
All right, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, a wonderful life. Keep coming back. We'll miss you till next time.